Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of March 4th. Our council meeting on Monday included a public safety update by Bloomington Police Chief Booker Hodges. It's always good to hear from the chief, and I appreciate that he didn't just give the council crime statistics, he also provided some important context around the numbers that makes the information much more useful. I want to start by saying that the Bloomington Police Department continues to do outstanding work, and as a result, Bloomington is a safe city. The chief reminded us that while it's not uncommon to hear about police departments having a hard time recruiting and retaining officers, the Bloomington Police Department has been fully staffed for more than a year now. That's because we have a great department with a strong culture, and we have a community that supports the police department. It's clear that good officers want to work in this community. One of those departments that's having trouble hiring officers is the Metro Transit Police Department. And it's no secret that as a result, there are significant safety and rideability issues on the light rail transit system in the Twin Cities. So last year, Bloomington Police stepped up and offered to help out on the LRT trains. Bloomington officers patrolled the transit station at Mall of America and rode the trains from the mall north to Fort Snelling and sometimes even beyond. The results were dramatic. I heard from senior leadership at the mall, hotel managers, and business owners in the South Loop that the feeling of safety and security improved significantly when Bloomington officers were on the trains. And that's a very good thing. We want visitors to Bloomington who ride the Blue Line from the airport to Mall of America or to Bloomington Central Station to feel safe. We as Minnesotans have made an enormous investment in our transit system, and we should do everything we can to ensure that it's safe, rideable, and successful. I mention this because it's part of the important context around this issue. All of the work that Bloomington officers did while working on transit, the arrests they made, the trespass citations they issued, the interactions they had with people who were breaking laws, those are reflected in Bloomington police statistics. They are not reflected in Metro Transit police statistics. It makes a difference. If you blindly compare crime numbers from 2022 with 2023, the total number of crimes reported by Bloomington Police went up by more than 400. But a good portion of that increase can be directly linked to interactions related to light rail transit, including significant increases in drug violations, ID theft, and trespassing. I need to point out that Bloomington Police are no longer working on the Blue Line LRT. The agreement with the Metro Transit Police expired at the end of December. And given the success of their work, Bloomington Police offered an agreement to continue working on the trains. Metro Transit Police declined our offer to continue providing services as they're rolling out a new model that increases presence with community service officers and ambassadors. I certainly hope it works, because everyone deserves to be safe on the Blue Line, and we want to see ridership continue to grow. Chief Hodges also shared two important items related to property crimes. He was proud to report that larceny related to auto parts dropped by 58% from 2022 to 2023. That's catalytic converter theft. Bloomington Police made catalytic converter theft a priority in 2023. They asked the council for a change in policy which gave them more latitude, and the numbers show it really paid off. The chief was also proud to report that shoplifting arrests increased by 35%. Now, it may seem odd to be proud of a significant increase, but the chief explained it's the result of retailers getting tired of people stealing stuff from their stores, and Bloomington Police pushing those retailers to bring charges against shoplifters when they're caught. With both the retailers and BPD making this a priority, arrests for shoplifting have increased. As I said, overall, Bloomington is a safe community, and the numbers bear that out. That's the result of a community that values public safety and a police department that lists respect as their core value. I talked last week about the city's communications and public relations plan for the coming years. It was a big topic, and in the interest of time, I intentionally saved the discussion about the city's digital communications plan for this week. Like everything else, there are goals for our digital communications efforts. Bloomington uses digital communications to increase brand awareness, which means that residents and businesses better understand the value of city services. Bloomington posts items that enhance community image and encourages people to develop an appreciation for all the city has to offer. And we look for ways to encourage positive engagement. Those goals have led to a work plan that includes alignment with the Bloomington Tomorrow Together strategic plan, specifically the priority of being a welcoming community, sharing more content from partner organizations, and posting a mix of information, beauty images, and the great things about Bloomington. A couple of specific examples. The communications team is using LinkedIn to showcase economic initiatives, projects, and the people and partnerships that contribute to the prosperity and well-being of Bloomington. Communications also reevaluated their use of Instagram and realized the best way to use that platform was less text and more pictures that showcase Bloomington's beauty and enhanced community image. They also started posting short-form videos as reels, which has translated to a lot more overall engagement. The Facebook strategy is interesting. This slide shows the number of posts the city published per week from 2020 through 2023. You'll notice that in 2023, the number of weekly posts was fewer than in previous years. That was intentional. At the start of the year, the communications team made the decision to reduce the number of posts per week and work toward more engaging content. The orange line in this graph shows the percentage of posts each year that reached more than 3,000 people. That's the number communications has used as a benchmark as to whether or not a post got good reach. As you can see, even though the city was posting less frequently, the reach actually improved slightly. It's worth noting that the city turned off Facebook comments in April of 2023. And it's interesting that our performance metric that year ended up being higher than any year since we began calculating this metric in 2018. So with a new engagement strategy in place, even with comments turned off, our posts performed as well or better than in previous years. Communications is effectively using Facebook as a one-way communications vehicle. The city is doing its part to showcase our community, our great amenities, the wonderful people who live here, and the businesses that provide services to our residents and visitors while supporting our local economy. With all of that in mind, the council agreed with the recommendation to keep comments turned off. There are many ways people can provide feedback to the city, including commenting on our other digital media platforms. The plan is to continue to assess all platforms and look for new ways to reach our audiences, and to continue to use digital media to inform and highlight Bloomington as a remarkable place where people want to be. Finally today, last week the City Council and the Bloomington School Board got together for a concurrent meeting in the City Council chambers. The agenda included an update on joint chemical and mental health efforts between the city and the school district, a fantastic presentation on the Bloomington Schools Tech Hub, and an update on the Bloomington Forward projects. There weren't any action items on the agenda. Instead, it was more of a study session, and it was a nice opportunity for your Bloomington local elected officials to get together and talk. You've heard me say before that Bloomington is unique in the fact that our city boundaries and our school district boundaries are the same. Not a lot of cities in the metro can say that. That alignment is an advantage we've been working to develop, and meetings like the one that we had last week are a good way to move that alignment forward. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.